What is the meaning and purpose of spiritual awakening? Have you ever felt like there must be more to life than what you experience every day? Maybe you've sensed a deeper meaning behind your daily routine, or felt a strange connection to the world around you that you can't quite explain. These feelings can be confusing, but they might be the start of something big. They might be the beginning of a spiritual awakening. Imagine it's early morning and the sun is just rising. The dark sky slowly turns orange and gold, and the world around you begins to light up. A few birds start to sing as gentle sunlight breaks through the fog, revealing everything that was hidden in the dark. This beautiful moment of dawn is like what a spiritual awakening feels like in a person's life. It's as if new light is shining on everything inside and around you. In this video, we will explore what a spiritual awakening means and why it happens in simple terms that anyone can understand. By the end, you'll know the meaning and purpose of spiritual awakening and how it can change someone's life. Chapter 1. Waking up spiritually. What is a spiritual awakening? Let's break the term down. The word spiritual has to do with the spirit or soul, the part of you that isn't physical. It's your inner self, your feelings and hopes, the sense of something greater than just your body or brain. The word awakening means waking up from sleep. So, a spiritual awakening is like your spirit waking up. It's when you become aware of a deeper reality inside you and around you that you didn't notice before. In simple terms, a spiritual awakening is the process of becoming more in touch with your spiritual side. It's like waking up from a long sleep and suddenly seeing the world in a fresh, new way. Many people who go through a spiritual awakening say they feel a new sense of wonder and understanding. Things that once seemed ordinary might now feel amazing or special. It's as if a veil has been lifted from your eyes, and now you can see the true beauty of life. You might notice little things more, like the color of the sky, the sound of the wind, or the kindness in others. Ordinary things begin to look extraordinary. Your heart feels more open and your mind feels clearer. To put it in perspective, think about how you feel when you finally understand something that confused you for a long time, like solving a tricky puzzle or learning a difficult lesson. Suddenly, everything clicks, and it makes sense. A spiritual awakening is similar, but instead of a math problem or a word puzzle, it's life itself that starts to make more sense. You start to see purpose and meaning where you didn't see it before. In fact, one author described a spiritual awakening as coming back to yourself, realizing who you truly are, and feeling a strong call to discover the true meaning and purpose of life. Just like a butterfly emerges from its cocoon into a new life, a spiritual awakening is a transformation of the self. Before it happens, we might be like a caterpillar, inching along with a limited view of the world. After awakening, we're more like the butterfly, seeing the bigger sky and enjoying new freedom. This transformation can be gradual or sudden. Some people experience a sudden aha moment when everything changes at once, while others awaken slowly, little by little, over months or years. Either way, the result is a changed perspective. You begin to look at life through new eyes. Chapter 2. Signs and feelings. How do you know you're awakening? How can you tell if someone, or even you, is having a spiritual awakening? Since it's an inner experience, it can be different for everyone. However, there are some common signs and feelings that many people report. Here are a few signs of a spiritual awakening. Questioning life. You start asking big questions like, why am I here? Or what is the purpose of life? Instead of just going through the motions each day, you feel a strong curiosity about life's meaning. You might question things that you used to accept without a second thought. Increased awareness. Your senses feel sharpened, colors might look brighter, and sounds might seem clearer. You notice the beauty in everyday things. A flower by the sidewalk, a smile from a stranger, more than you did before. The world around you feels more alive and interesting. Deep connection. You feel more connected to other people, nature, or the universe as a whole. For example, a walk in the park might suddenly fill you with a peaceful feeling of being one with everything. You might sense that all living things are connected, like parts of one big family. Emotional changes. Your emotions may become stronger or more steady in a positive way. Some people feel a surge of compassion and love for others. You might become more kind, patient, and understanding. Things that used to make you very angry or upset might not bother you as much because you see them from a higher perspective. Changing priorities. The things that mattered a lot to you before might feel less important, while new values become key. For example, you might care less about material things, like wanting the newest phone or brand name clothes, and care more about helping others, creating or finding truth. You could feel drawn to spend more time in nature, reading about spiritual topics, or just sitting in silence. These signs are often accompanied by a sense of peace and clarity. It's as if you were living on autopilot before, and now you've taken control of the steering wheel of your life. You might also experience some confusion or loneliness at times, especially if people around you don't understand what you're going through. That's okay. Just remember that a spiritual awakening is a personal journey, and everyone's journey is unique. At this point, you might be thinking, "This sounds familiar," or perhaps you feel a spark of recognition in your heart as you hear these signs. If you resonate with the message in this video, write "yes" in the comments. This helps us know that you're on this journey or curious about it, and it also lets others see they're not alone. One important thing to note is that a spiritual awakening isn't always easy at first. Sometimes it begins after a difficult experience or a tough time in life. For example, some people have an awakening after losing a job, going through an illness, or during a big global event that forces them to stay quiet and think, like the world's slowing down for a while. Challenging times can make us pause and look within, which can spark an awakening. It's a bit like a seed under the soil. It might be in darkness for a while, but then it breaks open and starts to grow upward toward the light. The hard time is the darkness, and the awakening is the seed sprouting into a new plant. So if you've gone through hard times and came out of them seeing life differently, that could very well be part of a spiritual awakening process. Chapter 3. The Purpose. Why does spiritual awakening happen? We've talked about what a spiritual awakening is and how it feels, but why does it happen? What is the purpose of a spiritual awakening? This is a big question, and different people might answer it in different ways. However, there are some common themes that many spiritual teachers and awakened individuals agree on. One main purpose of spiritual awakening is often described as helping a person grow or evolve on the inside. Think of it as growing up spiritually. Just as we grow physically from a child to an adult, spiritual awakening helps our inner self or soul grow to a new level. When this happens, we learn important lessons. We start to move beyond our ego and connect more with our heart. The word ego here means the sense of self that is mostly focused on me, me, me. Basically, our ordinary selfish desires or the image we hold of ourselves. During a spiritual awakening, a person learns to let go of the ego. This doesn't mean you stop having a personality or goals. It means you stop being controlled by fears, selfishness, or the feeling of being separate from everyone else. You realize that you're part of something bigger. When you detach from the ego, you start to feel a powerful connection to everything around you. This is often described as a sense of oneness. Oneness means feeling at one with the world, feeling like other people, animals, nature, and you are all connected by an invisible thread. Because of this, awakening usually brings a strong feeling of empathy and compassion. You care more about others' happiness, not just your own. You might feel love for people you've never met, simply because you see that, in some way, we're all in this life together. Many awakened people say they feel a part of all humanity, or even all living things, rather than feeling like a separate, isolated individual. This change from just me to all of us is a huge purpose of awakening, because it leads to a kinder and more understanding world. Another purpose of spiritual awakening is to guide you toward your true self and your purpose in life. Before awakening, we often chase after goals that society sets for us, like trying to be popular, to make a lot of money, or to look a certain way, thinking these will make us happy. After awakening, those things might not seem as fulfilling because you realize true happiness isn't about those surface goals. Instead, you start to discover what really matters to you. Perhaps you always loved art or music but never took it seriously. After awakening, you might feel it's time to pursue that because it feeds your soul. Or maybe you realize you want to help others, teach, heal, or protect the environment. These desires become clearer because the awakening is like an inner compass, pointing you toward your life's purpose. It's as if a light inside you turns on, showing you the path that truly makes you happy and helps the world in some way. Spiritual awakening also has the purpose of bringing more peace and freedom into your life. Earlier, we compared awakening to sunrise. Think of how sunlight not only lights up the world but also brings warmth. In a similar way, awakening can bring a warm feeling of inner peace. This doesn't mean you'll never have problems or never feel sad or angry. Life will still have ups and downs, but with an awakened view, you handle challenges differently. You might recover from stress faster because deep down you trust that there is meaning and that you are supported by the universe or a higher power, if that's in your belief. You may also feel a sense of inner freedom, as mentioned before. Freedom from being overly worried about what others think, freedom from constant anxiety about the future, and freedom from the weight of past mistakes. It's a feeling that inside you are okay and whole even when things around you aren't perfect. In summary, the purpose of a spiritual awakening can be seen as transformative growth. It transforms you into a more aware, compassionate, and authentic person, and it transforms how you experience life. The purpose is to wake you up so you can live a happier, more meaningful life and possibly make the world a better place for others too. When you are spiritually awake, you tend to spread more love, understanding, and positivity to those around you. Just like a lamp that's been turned on will light up a whole room. Chapter 4. Life After Awakening. Living with Your New Perspective. What happens after a spiritual awakening? Is everything suddenly perfect? Not exactly. Life is still life, but you are different in how you face it. Think of it like getting a new pair of glasses that lets you see more clearly. The world around you hasn't changed, but you can see it better and appreciate it more. After awakening, many people find that they want to continue growing and learning. Spiritual awakening is not a one-time event that ends. It's often the beginning of a new journey. You might feel drawn to activities that nurture your spirit, like meditation, prayer, journaling, or simply spending quiet time in nature. These activities help you continue to understand yourself and the world on a deeper level. Friendships and relationships might shift as well. You may start attracting people who understand your new perspective, possibly other spiritually minded friends who you can share your thoughts with. With those who have known you for a long time, you might share what you're feeling so they understand the new you. Sometimes people worry that they'll become totally different after awakening, like they won't enjoy the same hobbies or friends anymore. It's true you might change in some ways, for example, preferring a calm evening walk over noisy social media scrolling, but you are still you. In fact, you could say you are more yourself than ever, your true self. You might even enjoy some things more than before because you can fully be present and genuine now. Living with an awakened perspective often means you handle problems in a healthier way. When stress or conflict comes, you might pause and take a deep breath instead of reacting in anger right away. You might look for a lesson in a difficult situation, asking, "What is this teaching me?" rather than feeling like a victim. This doesn't mean you become passive or ignore problems. It means you face them with a calmer and wiser attitude. For example, if someone is unkind to you, instead of immediately getting upset, you might think, "They must be going through something." Or you might feel compassion for them and respond with kindness, setting healthy boundaries if needed. Your awakened self understands that negativity from others often comes from their own pain. This understanding can protect your peace. Also, after awakening, people often feel a desire to serve others or contribute to the world. Because you sense how connected we all are, helping someone else can feel as rewarding as helping yourself. You might volunteer, start a project to help your community, or simply be more present and supportive for friends and family. Even small acts, like listening when someone needs to talk or spreading positivity online, can be ways an awakened person shares their light. This gives a sense of purpose and joy, knowing that you're making a positive difference. It's important to mention that even after a spiritual awakening, you will continue to have emotions and face challenges. This is normal. Spiritual awakening doesn't mean you walk around in a constant state of bliss without any tough times. You might still feel sad if you lose someone, or frustrated if things don't go your way. The difference is that now you have an inner anchor of understanding. You know these moments are part of a bigger picture, and you might bounce back more quickly. Think of it like the weather. Before a storm, a hard time might have felt like the end of the world. After awakening, a storm is just a storm. You know the sun will come out again. You might carry an umbrella of wisdom that keeps you from getting too drenched in difficulties. Now, as we move towards closing our discussion, let's not forget something important: appreciation and sharing. We've journeyed through the meaning and purpose of spiritual awakening, and perhaps it has given you some insight or hope. If you like the video, click on thumbs up. That shows me your appreciation and will also push the video to more people. Your support means this message can reach and help others who might need it. Chapter 5. Continuing the journey. A spiritual awakening is a profound and beautiful journey. It's like turning on a light inside your heart and mind. We explored how it's defined as waking up to your true self and a greater reality, the signs that show it may be happening, the purpose behind it, growing your soul, finding meaning, and connecting with all life, and how life looks after awakening. We used examples like the sunrise and the butterfly to show how awakening brings light and transformation. We learned that the world doesn't magically change when you awaken, but how you see the world and respond to it does change, and that makes a big difference. If you're on this path of awakening, remember that it's okay to take it one day at a time. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Just as a flower bud takes time to bloom, your understanding and peace will grow with time. Keep following what feels true and uplifting to you, those interests and practices that make your spirit feel alive. Maybe it's reading more about spirituality, spending time in prayer or meditation, or simply taking mindful walks. There's no rush and no one right way to do a spiritual awakening. Your journey is unique and it's your own. Also, know that you're not alone. Many people around the world are going through similar awakenings, each in their own way. They too are asking big questions and seeking deeper meaning. It can be helpful to connect with supportive communities, like groups, forums, or even positive comment sections on videos like this, where people share their experiences. Hearing others can remind you that what you're experiencing is real and valued. It's like several travelers meeting on the road and encouraging each other onward. In the end, the meaning of a spiritual awakening comes down to knowing yourself on a deeper level and realizing that life is more than just the surface things we usually focus on. Its purpose is to help you live with more truth, love, and purpose. Instead of just existing day by day, you start living fully and authentically. Every day becomes a chance to learn, to love, and to grow. Thank you for watching and listening to this explanation. I hope it has been clear and helpful. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and perhaps this video is one step on your journey to understanding spiritual awakening. Stay curious, stay open-hearted, and keep shining your light. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep exploring the wonder of this journey called life.